In this YouTube video, we will show those vehicles which look very high but actually do not have good performance. In this video, we will mention 7 such vehicles which, despite their external design and beauty, do not fulfill in terms of speed and efficiency. In this video, the history of these vehicles, engine characteristics, and their performance issues have been considered, so that you can come to understand that everything that shines is not gold, but its efficiency should be considered. This video can be helpful for car enthusiasts to understand the performance of cars. Bricklin SV1. The Bricklin SV1 is an interesting vehicle, which came to light in the 1970s. This car was of modern design. It has going door and unconventional materials that make it different. The purpose of making this vehicle was to ensure safety measures. A Ford Windsor V8 engine was installed inside it, which was absolutely fine and powerful, but the real problem was in his gearbox. The Bricklin SV1 3-speed automatic gearbox limited its efficiency, due to which this car could not run at high speed. His gearbox was so slow. It took about 10 seconds for the car to go from 0 to 60 miles per hour. While this speed was much less than other vehicles, one aspect of the Bricklin SV1 was its design. It included soft bumpers and a strong roll cage, which used to protect passengers from accidents. This car could not develop despite its modern design and many features. The main reason for the failure of this vehicle was its insufficient budget and engineering problems. A contract was made which was for the engine of American Motors Corporation. He failed. After that, Bricklin chose a Ford engine, which turned out to be very weak. Because of this, SV1 failed to develop due to many problems. Overall, the Bricklin SV1 was an interesting experience, which is remembered based on its features. But its practical performance and engineering failures could not make it a successful vehicle. Fisker Karma. The Fisker Karma was a beautiful and elegant car designed by Henrik Fisker, who had previously designed high-end vehicles like the BMW Z8 and the Aston Martin DB9. Karma's design was very high. It used large fenders, a low roof, and an elegant body. This car was a 4-door coupe. The price of this car was $100,000. And this car was developed to compete with cars like Porsche Panamera and Aston Martin Rapid. The Fisker Karma's engine was used only to charge the batteries. This car was not only running, but it also worked as an onboard generator, which used to charge the batteries. The total power of the Karma was 400 horsepower. The power was apparently good, but it was nothing compared to fast cars like Tesla. The Fisker Karma used dual electric motors, but the efficiency of these motors was much lower than that of Tesla's dual motor vehicles, due to which it could not compete with vehicles like Porsche. Rather, it could be said to be similar to cars like the Golf GTI in 2012. Due to the Fisker company's financial difficulties and many problems, production of the Karma soon ceased. While later it was bought by a Chinese company, and after that its design was improved and added to the sport mode in the new version. Despite being an interesting car, the Fisker Karma was also superior in design. But despite its practicality, this car has a special status. Porsche 912. The Porsche 912 was an interesting car whose design was inspired by the Porsche 911. It had a weak engine installed. The 912 also had a 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine, delivering 90 horsepower. The engine's efficiency was much lower than the 911 6-cylinder engine, but it remained Porsche's flagship model. The purpose of the Porsche 912 was to bridge the gap between the 356 model and the 911 model. The interior design of the 912 was very simple. The 912 engine was actually taken from the 356, which was less powerful than the 911. The 911 was a performance car. The 912 was made more simple so that more buyers could buy it. This car became very popular due to its low cost and simplicity. Its handling and driving experience was very good. This is the reason why this car was successful in buying and selling despite being cheap. The 9-1 to production run was short, but the car sold very quickly. The design and features of the 9-1 to made it very popular with classic car enthusiasts. The important aspect of this 9-1 to car is that it looks like the 911, which was the most popular model of Porsche. The story of Porsche 912 is such that the company adapts its vehicles keeping in mind its customers and their needs. Despite its features and simplicity, the 912 earned a special place. Toyota Celica GT. Despite its special design, the Toyota Celica GT did not prove to be so impressive. This car was released in the late 1990s and early 2000s. The aim of this vehicle was to capture the attention of drivers with a sporty and aerodynamic design. The Celica GT was fitted with a 1cc 4-cylinder engine, which provided 140 horsepower. But the performance of this engine was very limited. The Celica GT's engine was aimed at better fuel economy, which in turn had a negative effect on the vehicle's top speed. This vehicle had aerodynamics and a light body. Despite this, its 1cc engine could not provide the best performance. Therefore, this car could not move forward in the high-speed race, and it proved very disappointing. The design of the Celica GT was much appreciated. This car looked very attractive due to its sleek and sharp lines, modern front and back lights, and stunning body. Toyota tried to make this car cheaper, but could not get success. This vehicle was made into a good and suitable vehicle due to limited speed and power. Sales of this vehicle were also good because it was a fuel-efficient vehicle. But it was not suitable for sports. The Celica GT is an example of a great car with a design and economical engine, but not a sports car. But even today, this car is remembered because of its features. Honda S660. The Honda S660 Mogan was a small K car that was produced exclusively for the Japanese market. This car looked attractive despite its size and limited engine. The engine of S660 Mogan was only 660cc, which provided 65 horsepower. The higher engine capacity is 660cc and 65 horsepower, showing the K cars of Japan, so that they can get benefit in less tax. The Mogan's design was very unique and the S660 aerodynamic. Modern work was done on its body, which made it look sporty and cute. Honda added additional styling elements to the Mogan variant, like aggressive body kit, big wheels, sporty wings, and special exhaust system. All these features make it a sports car, but its effectiveness was limited. The Honda S660 Mogan took about 12 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour, which were insufficient for a sports car. Its maximum speed was 87 miles per hour. The Honda S660 Mogan is a car with a light body and aerodynamic design, which proved better in narrow roads and urban areas. Due to its small size, this vehicle provided ease of parking and better speed in urban traffic. The Honda S660 Mogan was a unique car that was known for its limited engine capacity, outstanding design, and aerodynamics. Despite its small size, this vehicle achieved significant success thanks to its features. Opel GT. The Opel GT was a car that looked like an American Corvette, but there was a big difference between the two. This car was introduced in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Opel GT gained a lot of importance due to its beautiful and aerodynamic design. This vehicle was owned by General Motors, and its design was a copy of the Corvette C3. Until now, its mechanical properties were very different. The Opel GT was equipped with a 1.1-liter inline-4 engine that produced only 60 horsepower. The speed of the vehicle was limited due to the weakness of the engine. The Opel GT took 15 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour, which were insufficient for a sports car. The design of Opel GT was very attractive, but his performance was not good. Most of the mechanical components of this vehicle were taken from Cadett B, which was a small and light vehicle. The poor performance of the Opel GT came to the fore in its development. The Opel GT's aerodynamic design reduces wind resistance. The smooth lines and low height of this car made it outstanding. But his internal characteristics failed him. The Opel GT was a stunning vehicle to look at, but its lack of performance did not allow it to succeed as a sports car. Camaro Iron Duke. The Camaro Iron Duke was a great car, but its performance got in the way of its sporty styling. Introduced in the early 1989s, the vehicle was part of General Motors' Camaro lineup. Its 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, known as the Iron Duke, produced only 88 horsepower, which was insufficient for a sports car. Camaro Iron Duke's engine is originally designed for fuel efficiency. Its purpose was to provide fuel savings to the beer during the oil crisis. But it had a bad effect on the performance of the car. This car took 20 seconds to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour, which was very high. This slowness hindered the development of the Camaro Iron Duke. The Camaro Iron Duke's design, its bodywork, smooth lines, and aerodynamic shape gave it a car look, but the engine inside did not improve its performance. The 2.5-liter four-cylinder engine, which is meant for small cars, was not enough for big and heavy cars like the Camaro. The Camaro's lack of performance with the Iron Duke engine was also very disappointing. This car was not suitable for sports. Despite this, the Camaro Iron Duke had a special place, because it ushered in an era when fuel economy took precedence over performance. General Motors later introduced more powerful engines in other Camaro models to meet customer expectations. But it is true that the performance of the car is very important for a sports car. The design of this vehicle had achieved a special position, but it could not be successful due to the lack of performance in the true sense.